Every single day, you make over 35,000 decisions. But here is the shocking part. The most important decisions about your life online are not being made by you at all. Right now, invisible systems are deciding which news you read, which products you buy, which people you meet, and even which version of reality you believe is true. Over 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single minute, and you will never see 99.99% of it. Something is choosing for you. And once you understand how it works, you will never look at your phone the same way again. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how these systems operate, from their origins in a simple math problem to the psychological triggers they exploit today. You will learn why two people searching the exact same thing on Google can get completely different results, how platforms use your silence just as much as your clicks, and the one counterintuitive truth that the major tech companies really do not want discussed openly. By the end of this video, you will understand a machine that shapes the minds of 4 billion people every single day. Let us start with where this all began. The word algorithm comes from the name of a 9th century Persian mathematician named Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He developed systematic, step-by-step procedures for solving mathematical problems. For centuries, algorithms were purely academic, formulas on paper that helped humans think more clearly. Fast forward to the early days of the internet, and the challenge was not computing power. It was chaos. By 1998, there were over 2.4 million websites online and no reliable way to find anything useful. Search engines at the time ranked pages simply by how many times a keyword appeared. You could game the system by just repeating a word 1,000 times in invisible text. It was a mess. Then came Larry Page and Sergey Brin at Stanford University with something they called PageRank. Their insight was elegant and revolutionary. Instead of counting words, they counted links. A page that other reputable pages linked to must be trustworthy and relevant. It was the digital equivalent of academic citation. That single algorithmic idea became Google, and it fundamentally changed how humans navigate knowledge. But PageRank was just the beginning. What came next was far more personal, far more powerful, and far more controversial. The real transformation happened when platforms stopped asking, "What is this content about?" and started asking, "What does this specific person want?" This is the shift from search algorithms to recommendation algorithms, and it changed everything. Netflix made this leap early. In 2006, they offered a $1 million prize to anyone who could improve their recommendation algorithm by just 10%. That contest attracted over 40,000 teams from 186 countries. The winning solution combined dozens of different mathematical models working together. That moment signaled to the entire tech industry that personalization was not just a feature. It was the entire product. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Amazon, they all follow the same fundamental logic. Collect as much behavioral data as possible, find patterns in that behavior, and serve content that keeps the user engaged as long as possible. Every click, every pause, every scroll speed, every replay, every share, these are all data points feeding the machine. YouTube's algorithm alone processes over 1 billion data signals every single day to decide what appears in your recommended feed. But here is what nobody talks about. The algorithm is not trying to show you what you want. It is trying to show you what you will react to. Those are two very different things. Studies from MIT have shown that false information spreads 6 times faster on Twitter than true information, precisely because outrage and surprise generate stronger reactions than calm, accurate reporting. The algorithm did not create human psychology, but it learned to exploit it with surgical precision. This is where the concept of engagement optimization becomes dangerous. When a platform optimizes purely for watch time or clicks, it inevitably discovers that emotionally extreme content, anger, fear, awe, desire, performs better than moderate content. An internal Facebook study leaked in 2021 revealed that their own researchers found the algorithm was actively amplifying divisive content because division drove engagement. They knew. The question of what to do about it became a business problem, not just an ethical one. So how does the algorithm actually work on a mechanical level? There are 3 core components you need to understand. The first is collaborative filtering. This is the engine behind. People who like this also like that. It builds a mathematical map of users, clustering people with similar taste profiles together. If you and 10,000 other people share 70% of your viewing history, the algorithm assumes the 30% you have not seen yet might also appeal to you. It is pattern matching at massive scale. The second component is content-based filtering. This analyzes the actual properties of content itself: genre, topic, tone, visual style, audio patterns. On Spotify, the algorithm has actually listened to the acoustic fingerprints of over 70 million songs. It can identify tempo, key, energy level, and danceability as measurable numbers and match them to your listening history with remarkable accuracy. The third component, and this is the most powerful, is real-time behavioral feedback. Unlike the first two, this does not rely on your history. It watches what you are doing right now. How long did you hover over that thumbnail? Did you rewind that specific moment? Did you close the app immediately after finishing? Every micro-behavior in real time fine-tunes the model. This is why your feed can feel eerily accurate even when you are exploring something completely new. Now here is the counterintuitive truth that most people miss entirely. You are not just a user of the algorithm. You are training it. Every interaction you have is a vote in a continuous election about what kind of content gets promoted. When you watch something to completion, you are telling the system this format works. When you click away after 15 seconds, you are pruning that branch. Collectively, 4 billion users are constantly rewriting these systems through their behavior. The algorithm is not built in a lab and released unchanged. It is a living system that learns from human behavior in real time, every second of every day. This creates what researchers call a feedback loop, or more dramatically, a filter bubble. Eli Pariser, who coined that term in 2011, described it this way: the internet is showing us what it thinks we want to see, and in doing so, it gradually seals us off from information that might challenge us. A study by researchers at Oxford found that people in filter bubbles were significantly less likely to encounter viewpoints different from their own, not because they chose to avoid them, but because the algorithm learned they engaged less with challenging content and simply stopped serving it. The real-world implications of this are enormous. During election cycles, algorithms can create what sociologists call epistemic bubbles, where entire populations are operating from different sets of facts. In 2016, researchers documented how the Facebook algorithm served users in different political groups starkly different versions of the news landscape. Not fake news, just selectively amplified real news, curated to reinforce existing beliefs. The algorithm was not politically motivated. It was engagement motivated. The political polarization was a side effect of optimization. And yet, and this is important, algorithms are not purely destructive forces. Spotify's Discover Weekly has introduced millions of independent artists to audiences they never could have reached through traditional channels. YouTube's recommendation engine has made world-class educational content accessible to people in regions with no universities. Amazon's algorithms have allowed small businesses to compete with corporate giants on product visibility. The same machine that amplifies outrage also amplifies opportunity. The difference often comes down to how consciously you choose to interact with it. The question we all need to sit with is this: are you using the algorithm, or is the algorithm using you? Understanding the mechanics gives you real power. You can deliberately diversify your inputs, actively search for content outside your typical patterns, and be aware of which emotional reactions are being triggered and why. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Trend Now Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.